Hello everyone, I am Jessica Milberg from Jessica Milberg Photography and Ferris and Sloan Photography, and I'm here today to do my virtual TPS talk. I don't do group shots and other myths about documentary wedding photography. Got my trusty iPad here, and I'm actually way more uncomfortable in front of the camera than behind it, so bear with me. Hopefully you'll get a nice whirlwind tour here of what I'm going to talk about, and yeah, here we go. So first thing that I should make pretty clear is that documentary wedding photography is a style of photography. It's not a way of photographing necessarily. It just tends to mean that you kind of document what's going on around you. But the thing is with weddings, there is an expectation, definitely, of what is going to be photographed. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you can drop particular photos from your repertoire. So there is an expectation with most couples that you'll document key elements of the day in your style. So things like if walking down the aisle, first kiss, reading of vows, rings, etc. There is an expectation that that will be documented if you are a documentary style wedding photographer. And some people might say, well, but shouldn't you only show your client what it is that you want to shoot? That's fine, you can definitely do that, but keep in mind that there is still an expectation of what a client wants from their wedding photos, whether it's spoken or unspoken. And it's important that you don't overlook those expectations. So when you're photographing a wedding, you have your client, which generally tends to be the couple, but then you have your extended client, I like to call it. So your extended client has expectations as well. Who is the extended client? It's the couple's mothers, fathers, grandparents, siblings with children who might be in the wedding party, etc. And they have particular expectations as well on the day. So extended client expectations means that there are certain elements of the day that will be important to them, and they want them captured so that they can then print and display them or show them to friends. Okay, so there's an expectation that there will be some where you will have the family members all together there. And you might be saying, my client said they didn't want any stuffy posed photographs. Group shots take forever, they're really boring, they look really bad. Or they don't want to leave their party for an hour to have some couples photo shoot going on. But I always say, do you yourself and your client a favor and encourage them to do some group shots, even if they're a small amount. There's some really important reasons why. In the rest of the talk, I'm going to walk you through why I encourage my couples to do this, and how to set an expectation so that you can get them done fast and as easily as possible. And I'll also tell you about some of the mistakes that I've made along the way and how that brought me to the decision to keep some aspects of traditional wedding photography within my practice. So, group shots. So first of all, let your client know that you suggest only up to 5 combinations. It does start to get a little long after 5 combinations, and really that's pretty much all you need. Different family combinations. The groups don't have to be sort of stiff or posed or like, that kind of thing. They also don't have to look like Vanity Fair. They can be relaxed. You can just line everyone up, literally tell them to please look all in the same direction and take a photo. And take a few, because inevitably someone's blinking. And make sure that when you do the photos, when you get your group shots beforehand, that you've had a location already picked out for group shots, that you've put the list of groups in logical order. So meaning that if there is a consistency between each one, generally the couple, make sure that you keep that in there and you order them. So if it's the couple and the kids, couple and kids, swap in some parents on one side, swap in another set of parents, take one set of parents out, etc. So if you keep them super organized, you will get through this so quickly. Always, if there are children that need to be photographed, always order that first. Kids do not deal with having their photo taken for any length of time. So make sure you put kids first. There's always, starting again.
Just continue from where you are.
Okay. Make a copy of the list and of the groups and hand it off to a helper. So that's generally someone who knows everyone in the group shots. So a maid of honor, a best man, a cousin, etc. Recruit a helper. Make sure you give everyone clear instructions. People do not know what to do. They are looking to you as the photographer to tell them what to do. So you have to say, okay, everyone here, everyone there. I want these people here, these people there. Look this way, please. Keep talking. It means that they don't have time to kind of think about what they're doing or what not. They're just listening to your instructions. And the very last one, which is so important for group shots, is to keep the decks clear. So what do I mean by keeping the decks clear? Well, make sure that when you're doing your group shots, you take that group away from the rest of the guests and other family members, and that you don't have someone who isn't having their photo taken standing right over your shoulder with their phone, or even off to the side with their phone trying to get a group shot. I know they really want them. They will get them once everything has been delivered. And you can ask very politely if people would put away their phones, please. Because inevitably what happens is you get half the people looking at the person taking photos with their phone, and maybe a few people looking at the lens and you. What you want to do to get this done quickly is to just have everyone focusing on you, focusing on paying attention to what's being done. And if someone says, oh, but shouldn't we have Uncle so-and-so here? You can very politely say to them, that is a fantastic idea. Right now, this is the time we have for these shots. But if you want that photo, get those people together later on, and I'll be more than happy to take that group for you. Don't let other people dictate how this goes. Otherwise, it will go on forever and ever. Okay, so this is an example of an actual wedding and 5 group shots being done. Okay, so again, picking out a consistent location, knowing what the light's going to be. I did the children first in this one. Again, swapping out one mom, another mom, both moms, putting the brother in. So again, this took under 5 minutes to do, simply because I had it planned out. I looked at my list and I was organized about it. Again, another note on keeping location consistent with group shots. If you're going to do multiple group shots of multiple families, what you don't want to do is have different areas. One person's going to say, well, why did they get to have their photograph taken in the lovely garden and we didn't? Pick a neutral, consistent spot to do your photographs. Otherwise, again, you'll end up with some issues. Couple shots. Again, very similar to group shots. Have a plan, schedule a time, have a location, and keep your instructions clear and concise. Make sure you practice a bit ahead of time, even on your own. Know what the light is in that area. Know what you want to say to the couple. And keep it about the couple, okay? Don't try to make them do something that you want for your portfolio. If they don't want to do a couple shoot, then you really need to make sure it stays about them and you just get them back to their party quickly. Of course, there will be plenty of opportunities where there are pictures of them together during the day. So there'll be pictures of them first dance, during the ceremony, walking back down the aisle, during the speeches, in the car. But what you'll notice is that even if you get those shots, there may not be an opportunity to get a shot of them that is singular, simply focused on the couple and intimate. There'll be a lot of other things going on in those other photos. They make great, wonderful, fantastic candid images. But as far as a singular image of the couple, it really does take 5 minutes to step outside into some nice light and get a quick couple shot. And weddings are busy. Couples don't always necessarily have time to step away together. They're talking to their guests all the time. Think about fulfilling that extended client expectation. So even if it's just one photo, even if you just step away for 5 minutes, encourage them to make contact, you step away and just take some photos of them. Have them relish that time together, that quiet moment together. it really is a blessing for them as well. And it means that you get at least one shot that fulfills that extended client expectation. And this one, these two were very shy and they really wanted to wear their furry outfits for their couple shot. But I knew that that was going to cause problems later on down the line. So I said, look, let's just take those off for a second and do a real quick one of the two of you together. And that is the photo that fulfilled the extended client brief for their parents. Confetti. Everybody loves a confetti shot. I love a confetti shot. They are chaotic. They can be hilarious. They are spontaneous and full of joy. The thing is, they never actually happen spontaneously. Confetti has to be planned and scheduled on the day. So what do I mean by planned? It has to be planned ahead of time. It has to happen at a particular time that you know about. The couple must provide enough confetti for everyone if they want that particular shot. You have to get a helper to help you organize all the people. And you have to, again, give clear instructions. So it does seem like a bit of a no-brainer, but you'd be really surprised at how confetti shots can go terribly wrong if they're not planned. So make sure that you organize everyone so that the guests aren't blocking the couple if the couple is standing in front of the guests or if the couple are going to walk towards you through the guests. Make sure that if they are walking towards you and you're walking backwards, you know what's behind you. It is no good to step on a small child during confetti shots. And make it clear to guests when to throw the confetti. Are they going to do it all at once? Should they do it as they walk? And how to throw the confetti. Again, I know this sounds silly and total no-brainer, but for health and safety, and I've seen things go wrong, always instruct for people to throw up and over the couple. Otherwise, you end up with a shot of a bride with a piece of flour in her eye, etc. So do make sure that you tell people when and how to throw the confetti. If it's planned during the ceremony or another part in particular of the wedding, not after, know when that is, especially if it's indoors. So you can see in one of these photos here that this is an indoor ceremony and that they wanted the confetti to happen right after they walk down the aisle inside. Make sure you know when it's happening, make sure you're in the right position, and know what kind of light you need, especially for inside confetti. Because an unplanned confetti shot almost never come out well. They are clumsy and they are awkward. So some of you might be saying, but this isn't really all that authentic to documentary wedding photography. What I like to say is plan, don't force. It's not just about the couple, and expressed or not, there is an expectation, okay? So the whole plan, don't force, I think, is the main thing to focus on. So for group shots, plan them, don't force them. You can still get all the right amount of people together, the people that they want. You can have them all looking in the same direction, or you can let it be a somewhat candid shot like this. But unless you get this group of people together, you may not get that shot during the wedding. So these images that I'm showing you now, these images are the most purchased and downloaded from their respective galleries, okay? Again, these are shots that people are not super interested in doing, but I took a moment to do it. Are they the most brilliant photos? Not really, but were they important to family and guests? Clearly, they were downloaded by almost every guest in their respective wedding. And remember that your portfolio comes second. Your client always comes first. So listen to your client and always make sure you get a shot of what they want, not just what you want. So they may want a couple shot that might not have been exactly what you want, but you have to listen and put their needs first, even if it means you run out of time to do what you want. And learn from my mistakes. It's more than just the couple's day. There are lots of other people involved, families, grandparents. Remind the couple that you will save them a great deal of grief and family politics by planning and doing some basic group shots and at least one couple's photo, especially for older generations. You may have heard it a million times that they don't want those kind of shots, but to be honest, you really trust your instincts, trust your gut. There have been plenty of times where people have said to me, oh, I don't want those post shots, I don't want that. And then they've come back later and said, but there are no pictures of my sister and my uncle together. Well, I don't know who the sister and the uncle are specifically, and so I can't spend the whole time trying to find the sister and the uncle together and get their photo. Encourage a few quick group shots. And the other thing is, we can't predict the future and we can't go back and change the past. And I think this is ultimately really relevant today. Future and past, sadly, things happen to people in between the time that the event happens and you take the photos and you deliver them. People get sick, people die. We can't predict what's going to happen. So, you can't predict that moving forward. So cover yourself in hindsight. Make sure you do these group photos for posterity. It may seem strange, but really, posterity is important, and it's important to the family later on, whether or not they realize it in the moment. So that was my very quick go through of why I do group shots and couple shots and plan things out. I'm on Instagram at Jessica Milberg Photography or at Ferris and Sloan Photography. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or leave a comment in social media. Thank you for bearing with me. And I really hope that you all learned something from this. And please remember to stay safe when you're out there shooting. Thanks a lot.